Welcome back to the deep dive. If you're like most of us, you've probably felt it, right? That deep, just bone-weary exhaustion.
Oh, absolutely. The kind that feels like it sticks to you no matter how much sleep you get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we tend to just label it burnout. But today we're doing a deep dive into something that offers a really powerful reframe.
Yeah, this idea from our sources, what if you're not burnt out? You're just unaligned.
Unaligned. That hits differently, doesn't it?
It really does. It shifts the focus. I mean, most people think burnout is just, doing too much, pushing too hard.
Right, overload.
But what these sources suggest is maybe it's often about doing too much of the wrong things. You see the difference.
Subtle, but yeah, profound.
It moves beyond just the sheer volume of work. It points towards something deeper, like maybe a spiritual or emotional misalignment.
Okay, so not just how much you do, but what you do and if it actually fits who you are.
Precisely, where your actions aren't really lining up with your true self.
So the question for you listening becomes, is this tiredness just physical? From running around long hours?
Or could it be, like the sources suggest, more?
Yeah.
Existential.
Existential tiredness. Wow. Are you just out of gas, or are you fundamentally kind of out of sync, out of alignment?
Exactly. And think about it. We've all seen examples, right? Someone working, say, 80 hours a week on something they love.
Yeah, they seem energized.
Totally. Fired up, even. But then someone else may be working a standard 40 hours, but in a job that feels, well, soul-sucking.
Ugh. Drained by Tuesday afternoon.
Completely. So it shows energy isn't just about hours clocked. It's about that genuine connection. Or a lack of it.
Okay, that really makes sense. So if it's not always the long hours, if it's this misalignment, how do we figure out where we're out of sync? What are these wrong things the sources talk about?
Well, the sources seem to point to a few key areas where this misalignment often shows up. First, maybe a disconnect from your core values.
Okay, like what you truly believe in.
Yeah, if what you do every day clashes with what you hold important, say, you value connection, but your work is totally isolated, that creates this internal friction.
Right, that constant rub.
Then there's ignoring your authentic desires. Doing things because you feel you should, not because you actually want to.
Ah, the shoulds.
Yeah.
Pleasing others, meeting expectations.
Exactly, instead of following what genuinely excites you. And third, maybe doing work that doesn't really use your unique strengths, your zone of genius.
So you're constantly fighting upstream, kind of.
Yeah, it's not just inefficient, it's deeply tiring when you're always operating outside of what comes naturally to you.
So it's not just what you do, but the why behind it, and if it really resonates deep down, which I guess brings us back to that core idea.
The idea that so much exhaustion comes from, well, pretending.
Yeah, pretending, pleasing others, performing these roles that just don't feel like you.
It's fundamentally unsustainable, isn't it? That kind of chronic fatigue isn't just your body being tired. It's an emotional, a spiritual drain.
From being out of sync.
Like the sources say, you can't live someone else's dream and expect to feel fulfilled. It's this invisible weight.
But here's the really hopeful part, right? The takeaway is, you're not broken. You might just be overdue for a realignment.
Absolutely. That's the empowering message here.
And the sources seem really clear that when you do reconnect, when you find that alignment with what truly matters to you, the energy comes back.
It flows again, like, plugging into the right socket.
Finding your true power source.
And that's where the real work, the real healing starts. Instead of just asking, how do I stop feeling so tired all the time?
Which is what most of us ask.
Right. The more powerful question, the one proposed in the sources, is, where am I not being honest with myself?
Oof, that's a tough question.
It is, but it gets to the root. That's where you start untangling things, addressing the real cause, not just the symptom of exhaustion.
So as you go about your day, maybe mull that over, this idea that maybe the path to more energy isn't about less activity.
But about more authenticity.
Yeah, being more truly you. Remember that thought. Sometimes you're not burnt out. You're just not aligned yet.
It's really a call to reconnect.
With your deepest self.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where the real vitality is waiting.